Elemental ponies are a series of strange breeds of ponies I came up with while looking up Fakemon. There are only 11 types as of now. I'm not sure if I'll ever make more, but here are the elemental ponies that I have made. Air. Air ponies can only be Pegasi. Their manes and tails are light and slightly transparent, and seem to flow as if wind were blowing. Air ponies can control the air around them to create wind or gusts strong enough to move boulders out of the way. When their wings are outstretched, they take on the properties of their mane and tail, becoming wispy and mysterious, as well as slightly transparent. Air ponies can even produce oxygen in a situation where it's lacking. Another ability is that they can produce dust devils, tornadoes, and hurricanes. They work best with water ponies, but seem to not get along with fire ponies. Cosmic. Cosmic ponies are stunningly beautiful and can only be unicorns or Pegasi. Their manes and tails are completely transparent and glitter with sparkles that rival the night sky. Their bodies also have an attractive shimmer. The sclera of their eyes are actually black, with the eye being a solid color. They also have hooves that resemble glittering glass, as if they were wearing shoes, except they are also transparent like their manes and tails. Just like the air ponies, their manes and tails blow an invisible wind, and are always quite long, even stallions. If they cut it, it grows back in about 2 days. Cosmic ponies are the only ponies able to survive easily in spatial-type voids. They can also travel along up to 6 different dimensions. Cosmic ponies tend to be very self-centered because of their beauty. They don't try to work with other ponies, as their powers are inferior to their own. Digital. Definitely one of the more curious types, digital ponies can only be unicorns. When they move, tiny pixels seem to float from their bodies and disappear into the air. However, any pixel lost from the pony will regenerate immediately. The pupils of their eyes are black, but constantly display binary code, which will move at different speeds depending on the pony's mood. Another cool thing about their eyes is that the irises are not just one color, but an entire spectrum consisting of 3 or more colors. However, if the pony is sick, the irises turn gray and the binary code disappears until the pony gets better. Like a computer, digital ponies have different ports. 2 USB outlets behind the neck, wire extensions that come out of the back of each ear, and jacks under their back hooves. Using these, digital ponies can hack into various devices and even connect to the internet. They work very well with electric ponies, not so well with water. Electric. They are usually only Pegasi, but it's not unheard of that an earth pony or unicorn of this type pops up through crossbreeding. Electric ponies are said to be faster than the speed of light, and for good reason. They run and fly up to such intense speeds they almost appear invisible. Their mane and tails are often full of static electricity, which can cause a couple of annoying shocks to other pony types, but a good comb-through can rid the static for a few hours. The tail, no matter what length, is always the shape of a lightning bolt. Lastly, they actually have the ability to strengthen their static electricity into intense shockwaves as great as lightning. In a situation of a blackout, electric ponies can be used as temporary generators. They work best with digital ponies, not so much with water ponies. Fire. For some unknown reason, fire ponies can only be earth ponies. Even if they're crossbred, the offspring always either come out a fire pony or whatever type the other parent was. They can control the size and temperature of their flames, even managing to bring them down to a soothing warmth that will not harm anything around it. The only time a fire pony loses control of their flames is when they're angry, but when the flames turn blue, bail, because dem flames is hot. Sometimes when they're fillies, they won't have enough control over their temperature, and often leave scorched hoof prints. They also can choose whether or not to produce smoke. Fire ponies tend to have very haughty and bossy attitudes. They don't get along well with water, gloopy, air, or nature ponies, but they're great with shadow for some reason. Glass. Another very strange type of pony, actually sort of rivaling the appearance of crystal ponies. They can be earth, unicorn, or Pegasi. Instead of being face-shaded like crystal ponies, their bodies are flawlessly smooth, as well as transparent. The mane and tail, however, are opaque, but still very shiny. The pupils, instead of black, are usually a slightly darker shade of whatever color their irises are, and their eyes are super shiny and pretty. Because of how fragile they are, they will end up getting cracks sometimes, but just like cuts, they can heal. There's a special ward in the hospital for serious glass pony injuries. These ponies get along best with light and water ponies. Gloopy. You can imagine why Gloopy ponies are always earth. They have a hard enough time getting around on the ground, let alone in the sky, but it's still not entirely certain why no Gloopy Ponies are unicorns. Their entire body, including mane and tail, seem to be made out of a strange slimy substance somewhere between liquid and solid, having the consistency of thick glue. They constantly drip, the excess slime somehow in a recycling process. For instance, if a drop from their mane drips into their puddle, it'll go right back to the body. So basically, the substance forms the pony in an upward flowing direction. However, they do tend to leave little droplets of goo behind every so often when they walk. The advantage of being made of goo is that the pony has the ability to pass through vents, grates, and small crevices if it needs to. Gloopy ponies can also stretch their limbs a short distance to grab something that'd usually be out of reach. They like to work with any type of pony who will let them. Light. Light ponies can be earth, unicorn, or pegasi. Their entire body has a warm, healthy glow to it, and they can control their brightness depending on the situation. Just like air and cosmic ponies, their manes and tails flow gracefully. Light ponies are able to summon beams or orbs of solid light to form short bridges or platforms that you can walk on. Wherever a light pony goes, it always makes the area around it a bit brighter and warmer. However, when sleeping, they'll dim their body enough to resemble a glow stick. Their personalities are usually cheery and optimistic, enough to brighten any pony's day. Light ponies do not work well with shadow ponies, but are great with nature. Nature. Another pony that's strangely only come in earth variety. Nature ponies have the power to manipulate plants, fungi, rocks and minerals, dirt, and seismic waves in the Earth's crust and uppermost mantle. They mainly focus on plants though, leaving petals or leaves wisping behind them as they walk. We're not sure where they come from, probably their mane and tail, and also seem to mysteriously fade after about a minute. Nature ponies can control the speed and size of a plant's growth, and sometimes involuntarily leave little sprouts in the ground behind them as they walk. This only happens outdoors though. If a nature pony needs to travel fast, summoning vines is usually their method of transportation, manipulating them to either carry them or form a sort of bridge to their destination. They work well with water and light ponies, but not so much with fire or shadow. They are intrigued with cosmic ponies, but of course, cosmics like to keep to themselves. Shadow. The exact opposite of a light pony, though they can still be earth, unicorn, or pegasi. Their manes and tails flow in non-existent wind, and are jet black and always cover one eye. The irises of their eyes, as well as their hide, are always a dark color of any cool-toned shade, and their eyes are listless. You can usually find them brooding in dark caves or walking around at night, and somehow tend to make the area around them a little darker. Their gloomy and pessimistic attitudes are enough to bring any pony into a bad mood, and when shadow ponies enter a room, it always gets just a little colder. They hate light ponies, but get along with fire for some reason, even though they're bright and warm. It might just be that they enjoy fire's dominant attitude. Just like nature ponies, shadow ponies seem to admire the cosmic ponies, but are too shy to try and talk to them. Water. Water ponies are very friendly and can only be pegasi or earth ponies. Their mane and tail are pure, clean water, but will only make things wet if the pony wants it to, sort of like how a fire pony can choose not to burn things. Just like fire ponies, water ponies can control the temperature of their bodies, bringing the liquid mane and tail up to a boiling point or down to sub-zero temperatures, which solidifies the liquid. They might do this to style their hair a certain way. They can control the water molecules in the air to form different forms of mist, as well as summon rain and hail. Sometimes they'll mix soap into their mane to produce bubbles for fun, and the soap washes out after about an hour. Water ponies can freeze any liquid, which they sometimes do to Gloopy ponies for both of their amusement. They'll also help air and nature ponies with tasks that involve the element of water. Unlike Gloopy ponies, they can't phase through spaces because their body is solid, but their watery hair never runs out, so they are able to give up a portion of it to whatever needs it. Lastly, they are the only type of pony that is able to breathe underwater. They dislike electric ponies because their electricity can hurt them, and fire ponies just don't like them because of the water putting out the flames. Out of respect, water ponies are very careful around digital because they don't want to short-circuit them. And that's all I have. If you want to take a closer look at the ponies that I showed, I will leave a link to each one in the description. Each pony has their own name and personality if you want to read about it. If you want to make your own elemental character, I'd appreciate it if you leave a link in a comment so that I can see it. Make sure to subscribe, spread the word of awesome, and become a Reitanna, and I shall see you later, alligators and crocodiles. Goodbye!